Tom, I was really amazed at the Masters golf fans today. I guess when you're at the Masters, you just don't care that you're wet. But
It's the event with the rain coming down, though. It kind of made things dark and gray, but the golf was still good once again. The player to catch when they finish up the third and fourth rounds tomorrow will be Ben Crenshaw. Gentle Ben, the defending champ, has a 4-shot lead and is the only player under par. That's quite the accomplishment with today's weather. The rain delayed play for an hour and a half, and then darkness forced play to be stopped altogether. Greg Norman played the majority of his round before the rains came and fired a 4 under 68, including a birdie here on number 12. Norman is 1 over for the tournament. Crenshaw will pick up third-round play tomorrow morning on the 14th. Here on number 7, Ben gets the birdie to move to 4 under, and that's where he stands as of now. The greens at Augusta are fast, but the rain made things even more difficult. Just ask Seve Ballesteros. Bogey here on the par 3 12th. Seve is 3 over for the tourney. Things weren't much better for Lee Trevino. Lee makes the nice par putt here on number 10, but bogeyed 4 of the first 7 holes and is 8 shots behind Crenshaw. Let's check out the leaderboard. All these golfers, except Greg Norman, were still out on the course when play was suspended after the third round. Crenshaw in the lead at 4 under. Scott Hoke, Mike Reed, Nick Faldo are even 4 shots back, and Greg Norman, the Shark, after the 68, is 5 shots behind Crenshaw at 1 over. Well, the U.S. Davis Cup team tried to make it 3 straight against France tonight as Ken Flack and Robert Seguso played France's Yannick Noah and Guy Forget, or as some of us from up north would like to say, Guy Forget. In their doubles match, the U.S. won the first set 6-2. The second was decided by a tiebreaker. Seguso with the big serve for the tiebreak winner. Second set went to the U.S. 7-6. Third set, a little more interesting for France. Noah serving. Watch the great action here between Noah and Flack, back and forth, the volleys. Forget gets into it. Seguso finally puts it long. France wins that third set 6-4. Right now they are playing the fourth set, and it's tied at 5. So at this point, this match could go either way. In women's action, Natalia Zvereva beat Martina Navratilova to advance into tomorrow's final of the Family Circle Championship. Zvereva in the far court comes up with a great cross-court backhand to win the first set 6-2. Martina had 19 unforced errors in the first set. Problems continued for Navratilova. Martina serving, and then she just puts the shot long. The final in this one, 6-2, 3-6, and 6-1. Zvereva will play Steffi Graf in tomorrow's final. Well, North Fort Myers' Mike Greenwell is off to a fast start. Greeny has already hit 3 homers in the first 4 games for Boston. The only problem is the Red Sox have yet to win. They dropped to 0-4 with a loss to Kansas City this afternoon. Roger Clemens against Bo Jackson. Red Sox were leading this game 1-0 until Jackson jacks one out of right center. That tied the game at 1. It stayed tied until the bottom of the 10th. Jim Eisenreich scorches one past Barrett. Brad Wellman scores 2-1 KC. They are now 4-1. Boston is 0-4. American League scoreboard, Texas leading Toronto in the 5th, 2-1. Milwaukee by 3 over Detroit, 5-2. Yvonne Calderon, grand salami for Chicago. They win at 7-4. Cleveland all over the Yankees tonight by 10, 11-1 that final. Minnesota 6-5 over Baltimore, and Seattle against California. Jim Abbott, the player born without a right hand, is starting for the Angels tonight in that game. Well, the team to win the National League East, or expected to, is not off to a good start. After winning their opener, the Mets have now lost 3 straight. Today in Montreal, David Cohn got the start for the Mets as they played the Expos. Great play here by Keith Hernandez at first base. The unbelievable catch robs Dave Martinez of the base hit. Game tied at 1 until the bottom of the 7th. Spike Owens lifts the sac fly to right. After the great catch, watch the throw by Hernandez all the way to Quebec. Tim Foley scored. Then in the 8th, Montreal gets the game winner, Tim Wallet, with a double. Hubie Brooks scores, making it 3-1. The Mets got 1 back, but Montreal held on for the 3-2 win. National League scoreboard: Chicago over Pittsburgh 5-3. Philadelphia in 11 over St. Louis. Houston by 4 over San Diego. The rest of the National League rained out. Cincinnati and San Francisco rain, and Los Angeles, Atlanta PPD because of rain. Florida State League tonight. The Charlotte Rangers beat Dunedin 5-4. Well, after a night off for travel, the NHL playoffs resume tonight. In New York, the Penguins went into its Patrick Division semi with the Rangers, looking for a commanding 3-game lead in the series, and it was a must-win for Phil Esposito's club, who have lost 14 of their last 17. Pittsburgh on the board in the first. Paul Coffey's shot, redirected by Mario Lemieux, 1-0 Penguins. New York tied it a couple minutes later. Jan Eriksson's shot is stopped, but Tony Granato punches it in for the rebound. Actually, the Rangers got 8 goals in this game, 2 goals for each player in the net. And there's 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. It didn't help. Pittsburgh leading the Rangers in the second, 4-1. Let's check out the finals in the NHL. Washington in overtime over Philadelphia, 4-3. Adams division. Do we have our scores? I guess not. Well, we'll just blow by the NHL scoreboards. And after tonight's game with Houston, the Miami Heat have only one more home game. And for the fans, I guess that's some good news and some bad news. The Heat, with the worst record in the league, won tonight in overtime, the final 107-104 over the Houston Rockets. And that's all the time I have. And I guess our Chiron machine went down, but you'll have these problems.
Of course, Masters puts us off the air at 6 o'clock.
Yes, no 6 o'clock tomorrow because of the Masters golf. It will go until about 7 o'clock, but 11 o'clock highlights of all the sports.
We're all upset about that. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Sure thing.
Well, keeping up the pace was the name of the game today. We'll have highlights of that.